I bent to SumoSprings bracket doing an easy upgrade on our rig. This was after our Lake Tahoe trip. A leaf spring snapped in Coleville, Utah. We had roadside repairs. We had frame welding. I had the SumoSprings, I had the torque wrench, I had the instructions, and I still set the torque to the wrong units. I twisted a bracket on the underside of our Alliance Paradigm 310RL. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact torque mistake I made and how that stacks up on top of the Lake Tahoe suspension mess, what it costs to fix, and a simple torque checklist so you don't pay for the same lesson. If you think I read the instructions, I'm fine, you need to see how I still blew it. We're weekend warriors. We travel part-time in our Alliance Paradigm 310RL. We tow with a Ram 3500. We do as much of our own RV work as we can. This whole story really starts on the way to Lake Tahoe. We were on a trip to Lake Tahoe heading towards Zephyr Cove. Somewhere near Coleville, Utah, one of our leaf springs snapped. We ended up in a gas station parking lot with our fifth wheel. Not fun, we were safe, but not where we wanted to be. Better than alongside the road. We called Alliance RV Service first. Then we did a Google search for a mobile trailer repair. We found Revival Trailer Repair and Maintenance out of Salt Lake City. They came out within the hour. They did the repair right there in the parking lot in Coleville. Alliance RV Service helped us with the paperwork. They sent us a link for the Dexter Axle warranty claim form. We filled out that Dexter claim while we were still traveling. When we got home from the trip, we had a check from Dexter waiting for us in our mailbox. That check covered the roadside leaf spring repairs. That was a big deal for us. But the spring snapping was not the only damage from that trip. The broken leaf spring also had chewed into the frame. And that's where problem number 2 shows up. When we got home, we called Sparky's Welding. They came out and did the repairs in our driveway. We filed a second Dexter Axle warranty claim. That claim was for the frame welding work. Dexter stepped up again. They paid that claim too. So now we had new springs from the roadside repair, a welded frame at home, and 2 Dexter warranty checks. All because Alliance RV pointed us to the right people, and Dexter honored the claims. Alliance RV Service has been solid for us. I'll put their contact info in the description below if you have an Alliance and you ever need their help. And Dexter Axle, thank you for handling both of those claims the way you did. We appreciate that. Let's talk about what this really cost us. The first hit was the SumoSprings kit. That was about $500. The roadside repair in Coleville with Revival Trailer Repair was about $355. That was parts, labor to get us rolling again. Dexter Axle paid that roadside repair bill. That money came back to us. They also paid for the frame welding at home. That was another $309. So those 2 big hits got covered. My torque mistake at home did not get covered. Bending that SumoSprings bracket cost us about $170 in new brackets. That was $170 that I didn't need to spend. That was a pure I used the wrong units tax. So yes, Dexter helped a lot. Alliance RV Service helped a lot. But my own error still added to the bill. You would think after a snap spring and a welded frame, we would stop touching the suspension for a while, but no. I decided to add SumoSprings. The idea was good. The way I used the torque wrench was not. I wanted more support. I wanted to help the leaf springs. I wanted the trailer to feel more stable. I'd been reading about SumoSprings. I posted in the Alliance group. People said good things about them. The install looked simple. Brackets, bolts, torque wrench, so I ordered a set. And the box showed up at the house. We took everything up to our camper. We laid it all out. Black SumoSprings, brackets, hardware, torque wrench, pad to lay on. It felt like a normal weekend project. Here's where I messed up. The SumoSprings instructions showed a torque spec in inch pounds. Not in foot pounds, inch pounds. Inch pounds are a smaller unit. Foot pounds are bigger. 1 foot-pound equals 12 inch pounds. I saw the number. It looked fine in my head. I didn't slow down. I didn't say, this is inch pounds out loud. I just grabbed my torque wrench. My torque wrench is marked in foot pounds. That's the tool I use for lug nuts and hitch bolts. The spec was in inch pounds. I treated it like it was foot pounds. So when I set the torque, I set it way too high. If you ever wrench on your own RV, this is the moment that costs you or saves you. You'll see inch pounds, you'll see foot pounds. The only question is whether you catch the difference before you start cranking. We were at camp, in our spot, no pressure, no trucks flying by. I slid under the rig with the SumoSprings bracket. The bracket clamps around the leaf spring shackle area. I put the wrench on the bolt. I started tightening. Click, click, click. It feels tight. It also felt more effort than I expected. But the wrench said click, so I trusted it. In reality, I was putting about 12 times more force than the bracket was designed to see. At first, I didn't notice. Then I looked at the bracket. It was not sitting square. It was bent and twisted around the shackle area. It didn't crack, but it was clearly deformed. That bracket did not bend because SumoSprings are bad. It bent because my torque was bad. Wrong units, too much force, totally my fault. Once I saw that bracket, I didn't trust the rest, so I decided to replace all 4 SumoSpring brackets. So I knew every one of them was torqued right. That choice cost us an extra $170 in parts that we should not have needed. So let's stack this all up. A leaf spring broke near Coleville, Utah, on the way to Lake Tahoe. The broken spring chewed a groove in the frame. We had the frame welded. Later at camp, I bent a SumoSprings bracket by over-torquing it. I replaced all 4 brackets. After all that, we found a rear wall separation issue on the rig. Can I prove that this chain of suspension hits caused the rear wall problem? No, we don't know that. But it's hard not to at least wonder if all that stress under the rig played some part in whatever we see on that rear wall now. So when I look at that wall, I see every mistake and every repair that led up to it. Debbie and I sat down with the SumoSpring spec sheet. We walked through every line, torque number, units, where that bolt lives on the rig. We built a simple torque checklist so we don't repeat this. Step 1, read the spec twice. Don't skim. Find the exact line for your bolt. Step 2, say the units out loud, inch pounds or foot pounds or Newton meters. Write it on a note if you need to. Step 3, match your wrench. If the spec is in inch pounds and your wrench is in foot pounds, convert it. Use a different wrench. Step 4, sneak up on the number. Don't jump straight into full torque. Tighten in stages. Watch the part as you go. We installed new brackets. We set the wrench to the right value in the right units. We tightened in steps. We watched the metal the whole time. No twist, no bend, no extra order. So how does it tone now with the new springs, the welded frame, and the SumoSprings torqued right? The rig feels more planted than it did on the Tahoe run. Inside stuff moves less on the counters. The Ram 3500 and the fifth wheel feel more like one unit on rough roads. If you want to see how this story started on the way to Lake Tahoe with the original SumoSpring DIY fail and the first torque mistake, watch part 1 here on the screen. If you work on your own RV, do me one favor. Next time you grab a torque wrench, read the spec twice. Say the units out loud. Don't bend your brackets at home the way I did. This is rolling with the curves. Big thanks again to Alliance RV Service, Revival Trailer Repair and Maintenance, and Dexter Axle. We will see you on the next trip.